Jay, I was watching a portion of an interview and they were talking about this. The topic was generational wealth, and they were talking about home ownership being one of the crucial elements of that. And I guess my question to you is that true? You know, is there still the American dream that's connected to home ownership?
No, that's not true anymore. And I mean, it was only true a long time ago, and especially from a generational wealth perspective. But people got houses back in a long time ago for like for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They come from the war. They gave these people houses for nothing, like zero down, very low percent down. And those houses from, let's call it 50s or 60s, in the 80s were worth $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000. And so they're sitting there, their families, the next generation got, $250,000 cash, you know what I'm saying? Or $500,000 in a house. That changes things, you know what I'm saying? So they got a life insurance policy without them dying. Or maybe they die and got two life insurance policies. They got a house that's worth a half a ticket and then a half a ticket life insurance, right? Now you're a millionaire. Now that changed the game. Yeah, but nowadays, the way houses are sold and the way the banks are doing it and stuff like that, man, a house is not an investment at all. It's like literally a dead investment, because you're spending money on the house, paying your note and everything like that. But then you got to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Something will always go wrong in your house. You got to be the one to fix the roof. You got to be the one to, you cutting the grass and patching up this and patching up that and replacing refrigerators and all this other. Like, so are you really investing? Investments means something you put money in and it makes you money. You know what I'm saying? And you're not continuously putting money in it. Now, you still can use that as a vehicle where you're buying a house, and they call it house hacking or arbitraging, where you're buying a house and you got a mortgage, but you bring in a tenant and let the tenant through their rent pay you mortgage, and they're paying down your mortgage, and as well as you could be making a small premium on a monthly basis. And over time, that is something. But just you owning a house and living in the house, that's not it. That's not it. And it's sad that they're still lying about that, and they're still saying that. And then, especially in the black community, they're still believing that, when people can skip to not having that debt. It's especially living in major cities, you got to go ahead and put up even FHA 3.5%. If you live in San Francisco, that's a shit ton of money. You know what I'm saying? Like 3.5% for 100,000 is 3,500, but just now start adding it. 200,000 get to 7,000, right? 300,000. 300,000. You're at 10. 400,000, which the median house in the country is like 450. You see what I'm saying? So now you're sitting here really looking at about, let's call it 15 even, 15 grand median that they had to come up with on an FHA loan. That's 3%, but a regular conventional loan is 20%. And then you got other different types of loans that you can go in between that. So from 20 to 3.5, right? But so 20% is definitely 100,000. You ain't got, most people don't got $20,000. When they're saying most people don't have $400 or $500 for an emergency, right? So where they gonna get that amount of money from? And then that's going up to a $200,000 house. Now you need, double it up. You need 40,000. You know what I'm saying? You need 60,000 for a 3. You need 80,000 at 20%. Yes, all that can be going down to FHA. If you're a first timer, you can go up to 5%, 10%. There's always they can work it out for my real estate people who are going to try to say that. But all of that is way more expensive than somebody saying it's $1,000 to rent this house, pay another $1,000 and they got $2,000 in the house. And if something go wrong with the house, call them people, and people will come over there and fix it. If they need to make a move real fast, they're not stuck in this house. They got to go ahead and go to another house. And they have other vehicles that can use that money that's sitting there dormant for a long time, because you're never gonna get that back. The closing costs that go with it, none of that's coming back to you. And see, people saying like, "Oh, I made a profit." You really didn't, because if you put up $30,000 to get into the house, and over 20 years, you're going to spend $30,000. You probably spend way more. You probably spend double. And so if you're talking business, you haven't profit. But if you put the 30,000 in and you never had to put another dime in there because the tenants that you haven't paying for, this is going on, that's going on, then that's what you telling me is an investment. That's what you call an investment. You don't have to keep paying and paying and paying and paying and paying. You can send people to the stock market to make more money. They can learn how to buy a house as an investment, not as somebody that's a place where they can live. They can rent from somebody else. It's the craziest thing in this country is how we never want, it's okay for things to happen to us, but not for everybody else. What do I mean by that? We don't want to work a job, but we want to be entrepreneurs. So aren't you gonna have somebody work for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, so same thing with renting. We don't want to rent nobody's house, money going thrown down the toilet, but you get your house, you gonna want somebody to rent from you. Like, so it's all ass backwards. And this is what we're pushing. These are the narratives that we're pushing for people. So it's okay to rent from somebody because it should be okay for somebody to rent from you. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to get a job. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to want somebody to work for you if you got a business. Stop lying to our people. And we just get so comfortable with just saying shit. Even though we know it's wrong, we still just say it because we've been saying it for 50, 60 years. And so, hey man, comfort is a dangerous thing, man.